Hey, Captain Logos here, preacher at large, teaching the word, inspiring, 3 minutes at a time. Hey, the battle of Ai, when Joshua is going in to conquer the land. Right? They take 3,000 men, they go up, they say, this will be enough because there's very few people in this town. They go up there and they get their butts kicked. Wow. And they run back down, and now all of a sudden it's the first time they've seen a defeat. They don't know what to do. Joshua tears his robes, he stands before God. Right? And then God says, hey, look, you've done a terrible he says, get up. He says, what are you doing laying on the floor? Get up. Right? Joshua's doing what he thinks is right by prostrating, and he's sitting in ashes and doing all those things that they would normally do to seek the Lord. He's like, get up. You don't need to seek me. He says, you got sin in your company. Somebody has done something I told them not to. Now get in there. Find it, get rid of it, so that you can be victorious again. You see, there's a principle here that you got to be right with God. You can't just be willy-nilly with God and expect all the good things and all the promises of the Bible just to come flowing at you. Right? You got to be living for the Lord. Right? And so they find the person that did it, they get rid of the stuff, they go up, and then they conquer the people and they conquer the city. So, some may say, well, isn't that a spiteful God who would, if I do one thing wrong, who would come against me and do this, make this bad thing happen? Let me explain it to you in a different way that you might have never thought of before. There's a lot of things that God has set in motion in natural law, right? And he tells us to do certain things because they will lead to certain outcomes. But if we choose not to do those certain things, those outcomes will not come. So one of those things is a universal promise, right? He'd rebuke the devourer for the tither. Do you realize that if you tithe, you will be blessed? It doesn't matter if you're saved or not. I know companies that are not Christian companies that have learned that if they tithe, their companies are blessed, and they're doing it. Why? It's a universal principle. If you tithe, you're going to be blessed. Doesn't matter the state of your heart on that one. There's other things like that. How about do unto others as you would have them do unto you? Right? Universal principle, right? And if you do that, then the reciprocal will happen to you. But you're wanting good things to happen to you. You're wanting people to treat you a certain way, but yet you treat people rotten and expect them to treat you good. Now, how's that work? Now, so, you got to be all in for God. If you want all the promises and all the blessings, and if you want God to always be there when you call on him, he's always going to be there. He may let you waller sometimes, even if you're not doing the right thing. But if you really want God, just give your heart completely to God. If he's telling you not to do something, don't do it. If he's telling you not to do these things that are just a waste of time, don't do them. Whatever he's speaking to your heart, just realize you got to be all in. You got to be committed to God. If you're half-hearted, you won't have all the victories, just like Israel didn't have all the victories every time they went into sin, because they were half-hearted. Listen, if you can't believe God enough to not do the things he tells you not to, then how are you going to believe God for the great things that are going to happen in your life if you believe in God? See, it's not about God punishing you. It's about you not believing God. Because if you don't, look, you either believe him or you don't. If you believe him, you're going to do what he says. If you don't do what he says, you don't believe him. It's as simple as that. And he's wanting you to get the good things of life. He's pushing you to the good things of life, but yet you just keep ignoring him. So, it's not about God being a punishing God. It's about you not having faith. Think about that this week. Now, go get your face in the Bible.